Hello, everybody. We are again in our bed, and we we're gonna just discuss whatever comes to mind.
I just
What were you gonna say?
I'm just gonna talk.
Talk. Anyways, yeah. So
That's not really typical.
yeah.
Can
What
I
do you
come
need?
in?
Yeah, come in.
Hey.
What do you need?
Is my internet back on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, can you sign it?
You don't have to be nervous, dude. We're just filming.
Yeah. We're just.
Okay, you don't need to make. What do you need Mom to do?
Yeah. Do you know that he always hands this to me?
Yeah, you know no crap about it.
I don't know crap about electronics.
I'm the one who does all the video and audio, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, but he. Okay, stop making faces. I don't.
So can I hand this to you, and then we'll just
I
say
don't
that
do
I did
Roblox.
it? No, it's internet, right?
Oh, it's internet. Yeah, we already have it hooked up to the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Here you go. Signing in. Look. There you
Where? Where?
Sign in is
Hey, click on that. Click on
Which
that.
one?
This
The
one.
Verizon one. There we go. Connected.
See, I did it.
Yeah, you did it.
I am magical.
He brought it to you to fix it. He did it himself. No, go away. Go away. Hey, nobody likes you. Go away. Hey, Zayden.
Nobody likes you, but
Nobody
they
likes
love you. No, I love you.
Nobody likes me.
No,
Huh?
Yeah, nobody likes you.
And I thought you were a little retarded.
Hey, you know what? They don't fall far from this tree.
I know. The tree's right there. They just crack their skulls on the ground and end up looking retarded.
Hey,
What?
it's just fine by me, okay?
I like it when I like it when I go, hey Zayden, just like I did right there. He goes, nobody likes you. He goes, nobody likes you, Dad. I love when he does that. It's hilarious.
Hey, only my kids fall up the stairs.
Yeah, they do. Anyways, what were we gonna discuss tonight?
I don't know. Let's discuss everything. Let's discuss anything and everything.
Okay, that doesn't help the situation here.
What sets me apart?
Uh,
I've been really interested in knowing that.
in my eyes,
Well, not just your eyes, but in your head.
well, I can only no. I mean, you're no.
I'm shedding.
No, you said, and not only in your eyes, but also in your head. Of course. What I mean by in my eyes is what sets me apart. What do I think sets you apart from other women? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
You have an OCD problem that forces you to clean my house constantly. I mean, that's exactly. If a guy can find that, I can deal with all the other BS that comes with it. My house is. No, I'm just kidding. That is true though, but that's not what sets you apart. Actually, it does set you apart now that I think about it. But that's not the only thing. That's not the only thing that sets you apart. Uh, so I don't know. I guess I think a lot of what we talked about last night when we did this. But if you want to know the truth, I I have trust issues with women because I feel, especially when I was dating. And by the way, you know this. Um, my first wife was the woman I first had sex with. My second wife was the second woman I ever had sex with.
You poor man.
I know, poor man. I know.
Poor man.
We weren't virgins when we got married, but I think that's pretty good considering. Not perfect, but I'll mark it as good. But anyways, what sets you apart though? By the time you came along, I had been hurt by two women, and I'm not saying I didn't have a part to play in my divorces, but um, yeah. But by the time you came along, I was like, okay, I really don't want to get married. I don't want to do this rodeo again. I don't want to give half my crap. And if we have kids, I don't want to give you a lot of things. And because of my job, I know a lot about divorce. Um, and I know how devastating I can be when divorce happened. So, so there was a lot of trust issues, but I gave it a shot, and there was something different about you. In fact, when I met you, I was actually dating you and another girl, where the name that must not be said. Um, um, but I chose you over her because I felt more at home with you. More, I had peace. I had calmness when I came over and stayed with you. And I didn't have that very much with other people I had dated since I divorced my second wife. It was always, it felt like a rat race. It felt like I had to prove something, and you didn't make me feel that way. You made me feel like you were just present with me. So I chose you over everybody else because of that. Does that answer your question?
Oh, yes, it did.
Okay.
But I don't think we've told them
What's that?
how long we dated before we got
Oh,
married.
we're not getting into that. We're not getting into that right now. We will cover that a little bit later.
Okay. Well, we'll cover it later, but it is funny. Because
I want to do an entire like dating episode, how we dated episode.
Okay, do.
Okay, so let's not get into that.
Yes.
And we're gonna have to delete some parts out of that episode because they are.
That one's going to be for only adults.
Yeah. It was crazy times.
But
Damn, COVID was just finishing up. No, it was going on, wasn't it?
yes,
2021.
yes.
You're on the tail end of it. You cough in the store.
Oh, and heaven forbid you're coughing.
I know my cough carries very well through the store, and I had people like 3 aisles over run to see who just contaminated.
You have the tortured esophagus.
I do. The
tortuous esophagus.
And thank you, Marine Corps, for that.
And so when you cough, it sounds like you are about to cough out your tongue.
Oh, it is. So, I don't cough often anymore, but when I cough, it's like, and somebody's dying. At least everybody comes and checks on me.
People have scooted away in 2021 from our tables when he would cough. It was funny.
Well, I have sinusitis and rhinitis, which causes a lot of and GERD doesn't help the situation. And once again, thank you, Marine Corps, for that. And burn pits, thank you, I appreciate that. But, yeah, so, yeah. Anyways, what was your other question?
No, I was just going to say, along with your trust thing, I think you finally saw that you could trust me.
I think I threw my hat in the marriage before I felt comfortable with you because it was the most, even though I wasn't all on board when I got married to you, it was the calmest relationship I had in years. Even though it was a little topsy-turvy and crazy and he brought 2 kids in the situation, I wasn't.
Oh, wait, hold on. I brought 2.
I brought 7.
Thank you.
But I was also a foster parent. I was a Catholic and I wasn't Amish.
Hold on. I brought this many ex-husbands, okay? You brought this many, okay?
I didn't have any ex-husbands.
You brought how many kids?
Ex-husbands?
Hold
I
up your
didn't have
fingers.
any ex-husbands.
Oh, sorry, ex-wives. How many kids? Hold up your fingers because I can't.
I only had 1 and I can't even do it. 1.5. 1.5. There we go. See, that's a half finger. That's even a third. That's a third finger there. 1 1/3 ex-wives. I'm sorry, the fingers won't cooperate. But and those 2 ex-wives. Well, the first one didn't bring a lot of drama. She's actually calm by the time we got together.
But that doesn't like me.
What? What are you doing? Oh, fix that. You gotta fix that.
So I
Fix it. Get up and fix it.
I broke our I broke her things that hold these on underneath.
The shirt stays.
Yes.
Why don't you fix it? Just fix it. Just fix it. You can do it. You can do it. Look, I'm gonna even pause the video so we can fix it. Okay.
Blink it.
Okay. So we're gonna have to double check that video because I'm paranoid that maybe it didn't pause. It says pause recording, so I guess it's okay. Anyways, we're back. After wrestling the mattress and everybody getting up, we're back. Hopefully it flops in her face again and we can all have a good laugh. Okay.
Not a good laugh.
Oh, I had a good laugh. You were wrestling the sheet and you lost a few times while you were standing.
Shut up. Okay, it does not like me.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
And my side doesn't come up. You realize that?
Listen, my fingers, even my middle one is like, it's only like 2.5, 3 inches long. Like.
That is what she said, right?
It is. If my finger is 3 inches, well, there's more to life than that. But they're small fingers, and so when I pull out that thing, it's.
What thing?
I need big fingers.
Fat fingers or long?
Long.
You know, one time, my fingers are fatter than most people's.
Really?
They're not short, but they're not long either, but they're fat. And they call them Shrek fingers, my kids do. And I got my Shrek hands, and I still hear this from my children. I had my Shrek hand stuck, you know those napkin dispensers that are at the tables on some restaurants? I reached in, and the spring was really tight. And I pushed down, because you push down, you can grab a stack even through that hole. I pushed down, and I tried to take it out. My hand got stuck in it. Literally, I was shaking it with it attached, and we couldn't get it off. Come to find out, my ring hooked around somebody, but of course, everybody blames it on my fingers. And they're like, your fat fingers got the. So I can't even live that down with my children.
So, Shrek hands. No trust with saws.
Oh, we have to get to the finger story. I know people are judging me. They're like, oh. But anyways, we'll get to that. I'm not ready for that. It's very emotional. I lost a friend that day. My kids had to go find it.
He didn't even play with him very often.
Are you talking about my tip of my finger?
Yeah, he didn't even play with him very often.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
When did you realize I was missing? Apparently there was a motorcycle that went by. When did you find out I was missing a finger? Was it before we met or after we met?
After we met, we were at Starbucks, and you literally threw it in my face.
What did you think when you saw it?
You were like, do you see anything? Like what? Your pinky?
What did you think when you saw it?
I didn't know, and I was just like, ooh. I wanted to touch it. That's what I did, and then I wanted to go, do you feel? Do you have feeling? Do you feel?
I do have feeling. When it first came off, when I would touch the top of it,
yeah,
it felt like I was grabbing the hand like this, the finger like this, I mean, where it was touching. So I would just touch here, and it felt like I was doing this. My body had to adjust to it. Now if I touch the top, it feels like the top of my finger.
Oh, it feels like you're touching
yeah.
But before,
it doesn't feel like it feels like I'm touching the top, and my body realizes that's the top of my finger. It doesn't feel like I'm touching the top up here. But the weird thing was that you know how you get itches right there underneath the nail, underneath the cuticle, for like 6 months afterwards, I would feel that itch and it'd be like, ah, but you couldn't get to it because it would, it's like it wasn't there, but it was. And the nerves were like, hey, buddy, scratch. And I couldn't scratch it. So it was a little adjustment. My brain had to adjust. But the weirdest thing about losing the finger is, I have literally had a job because this happened back in 2012. Yeah, 2012. I've had jobs with coworkers, and I've worked uh, a few of them 6 months, and they one day we're talking, and they notice it, and they're like, "When did you lose your finger?" I said, "Well, yesterday," but it's clearly it wasn't yesterday because it was all healed up. They're like, "Really?" Like they questioned, like they believed it, but they couldn't quite believe it. I said, "No, I lost it years ago." They go, "Are you sure?" And they'd argue with me. They'd freaking argue with, "Are you sure?" No,
No,
I
I
don't
don't know.
remember the traumatic experience of cutting my finger off with a saw. Um, by the way, circular saws are, yeah, you need to stay away from those unless you know what you're doing. I thought I did because I've used them for years, but apparently that day I did not know what I was doing. But they sit there and argue with me like I, I'm like I'm trying to punk them or something. Like they don't understand how it
That
happened.
you actually know when you lost a
Yeah,
hockey
yeah.
card.
They talk to me like they're trying to convince me that my timeline is wrong on when I lost my finger. I'm
So,
like, okay, okay. But I know why they do it because it's the same reason why when you read uh, those scrambled words that have all the letters but they're not in order and your brain can somehow put them together, it's because your brain is so used to seeing, at least this is my theory, I don't have any science to back it up, but this is my theory behind it, and it sounds plausible.
everybody's used to seeing all the
Everybody's
fingers.
used to seeing complete fingers on hands with nails, that if you're not observant and paying attention, that your brain fills in the rest of it. So I like screwing with people. My favorite thing to do now that I lost the finger is I've done this up to an 11-year old, but I do it with younger kids too. I'll be like, hey, you want to see me take off my finger? And I make sure they're old enough where they've seen the trick before, where they're cocky about it and shit. And I'll be like, you want to see me take off my finger? And I'll be like, and I'll pull off and I'll show them like this. And they'll be like, I know that trick. And I'm like, do you? They go, yeah, it's behind. I said, you mean like this? And their eye, every single time their eye go, like they're rendered speechless. It is the funniest thing in the world. So I screw around with children's minds, especially the cocky ones. But it is fun. But a lot of the kids, when they find out, some of them are just disgusted they run the other. But some of the kids are like, "Can I touch it?" I'm like, "Sure." It's the weirdest thing in the world. They're like trying to figure out how the hell this works now. But another thing I like, which I wouldn't have done, and if you know me, I told you last video we posted. I've got to be serious all the time at my job. I do. I own the business, but I got to be serious because everybody looks to me. But anyways, I draw. It's just right, and it fits just right. I draw a face, and I actually have my daughter, my 14-year-old daughter. She is awesome at drawing. So is my 21-year-old daughter, but she doesn't live with me. She's just coming to visit. She's actually, um, let me turn off the sound. She's actually the 21-year-old's the one that interrupted the video last time asking about what she does with the kennel. But she's not spending the night tonight. But they both can draw well and paint really well. I mean, really well. And so much so that when my 14-year-old was in fifth grade, there was a competition that included everybody from first grade all the way through high school.
No,
And it was,
fifth grade to high
oh,
school.
fifth grade to high school. And there was multiple Christian schools involved, and she came in second place in that competition of, I don't know.
And she used my makeup and markers.
Yeah.
My Ulta makeup and Sephora makeup. So not cheap Walmart makeup. So no wonder she won second place.
Yeah, she used the makeup on the drawing. But anyways, the reason why I say that is I occasionally have her draw all out on the
Yes.
finger, and we talk to each other with our fingers. It's a stupid game we play. She's 14, and she cracks me up so much. She is one of the funniest people I know, probably because her mother is hilarious.
But you know what I hated?
What's that?
Is it the day I took you to go get a manicure and a pedicure? I didn't get the one finger discount.
No, you didn't.
I had to pay full price.
I know.
And I'm like, you're only doing 9.
I know. They should give me a 10% discount, right? I mean, the math adds up.
It does. Like, you don't have to do one of the nails.
Yeah. They just think it's a bonus. It's like when you take.
I don't have to tip you now.
It's like when you take tomato off of a burger from McDonald's that has tomato. They don't give you a discount, but they sure as hell charge you.
No, you know what's funny is McDonald's will charge you if you ask for mayonnaise to be put on your sandwich. There.
No, it's mac sauce.
No, no, it's mayonnaise. If you ask
Really?
them to add mayonnaise to your sandwich, if it doesn't have it, they charge you 40 cents.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But if you pull up to the drive-through window,
And ask them as you're passing. They're usually like I don't
ask
want to.
for a packet of mayonnaise, it's free.
Well, not just that. I found out if you go through the drive-through and um, you get to the window after ordering, and then you ask them to modify it, about I don't know, about 50% of the time they're like, "Oh, we'll just tell them," and they yell it, so you don't even have to pay that fee. It's a trick. So it's a. I don't get upset when I have to pay for it. I'll just pay for it, but it's up to them. I love the fact that if you do it just right, you do get it for free. I mean, they're going to charge you anyway, so occasionally it's good.
Yeah. Well, I told McDonald's one time, I was like, so I got a double cheeseburger, and I said, no pickle, no onion, no mustard, no ketchup. And I just want mayonnaise. And you're going to charge me for it. But you get to keep the other stuff for another. See?
Yeah, that's jacked up.
Really?
Well, you know what else I
I'm
absolutely
paying for it.
I absolutely hate this is, and this has happened to you. You say a cheeseburger with nothing on it but mayo, and then they don't even put the cheese on it. Never mind the word cheeseburger.
Burger. Yes.
is in it. Oh my god.
And then
man.
you take it back in, you're like, you didn't put the
And
cheese.
they argue
and
with
then they
you.
go, well, you said plain, only mayonnaise.
Yeah, that doesn't mean
No.
take the cheese off.
No, not plain. I go, only mayonnaise. Yeah. I said cheeseburger, not burger, not double burger, hamburger, not a triple hamburger. A double cheeseburger.
Yeah.
There's cheese in it.
Yeah. There's cheese in the actual title.
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyways.
But then again, if you were to actually do it correctly, you'd have to go be like Orville's down in Kentucky. Okay, Campbellsville, Kentucky, Orville's.
What's Orville's?
It's where it was the first job I ever had in Campbellsville, Kentucky.
Are they still open?
One of my first ex-boyfriends, a family member, owned it, and I was a dishwasher.
Mm-hmm.
And
Are they still open?
Yeah.
Oh.
We drove by there when we went down there.
Listen, you get into Kentucky, everything runs. You just see redneck, ghetto. Redneck.
That is true. That is true. Okay. That's very true.
The trailer hood is prevalent down in Campbellsville, Kentucky.
Yes, it is.
I'm sure they're nice people. I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying.
Well, you just like that southern twang from the lady at the hotel we stayed at. You just kept talking to her so she'd have her twang going.
I have a question.
What?
You've been through Georgia driving to Florida.
Yes.
Okay, this happened to me in Georgia, but I was with Erica at the time, my second ex-wife. But I'll tell the
Oh,
story.
she's
in a
my
minute.
best friend, by the way.
She's my best friend. Actually, our relationship's good. I like how it settled down, and everybody. We have this easy tension between us, but it's not enough to say anything off. So we get along. But anyways, that's not the point. Have you driven through some part of the South, including Alabama,
Uh-huh.
where my brother lives, at all? Have you driven through any part of the South and they argue with you because they don't understand your northern accent when you don't have a northern accent, you just talk? Have you ever had that problem?
No, it's usually no.
You don't
because
understand them?
no, I understand them, but here's the thing: once they start talking in their twang,
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Kentucky,
Mm-hmm.
so
It brings out your twin.
it brings out my twang, and I understand it. So no, I understand it. So I don't have that
Okay, okay.
issue.
So we were.
I had my mom raised me with diversity.
We were driving down to Fort Lauderdale,
Mhm.
Florida,
Mhm.
for something that. Oh, I think it was our cruise that we went on. Anyways, we were driving down there to go on a cruise, and we get to a drive-through, and we drove straight through. We've been switching off back and forth. So from Indiana
Down to Florida.
down to Florida is a long drive. That you think it's long, and then
Well,
you hit Georgia. It's like, oh my
down to
god.
Jacksonville was 26 hours.
I don't think it was that long.
Well, for me, it was.
Well, you're doing something wrong then.
Huh?
But anyways, so we get down there,
Oh, I
and
stopped.
we're probably 100 miles from the Florida border. So we are deep south before it gets unsouth once you hit the Florida border. And we stop at the restaurant, and my ex orders the food, and she goes through the entire order. And the lady at the end goes, "Can you repeat that?" So we go, "Okay." So she starts repeating it again, and she goes, "You're going way too fast. You need to slow down." And she's like, "Can I have?" And she like slows it down really far. She goes, "Can you just drive up to the window? I can't understand you. Your accent's really bad." And she looked at me. My ex looked at me. Erica looked at me, and she's like she was the one in the driver's seat. She's like, "I don't know what I should do. Should I drive around?" This lady doesn't understand. I repeated this order, and I just sat there. I said, but we had a good laugh about it. But that's what I
No, I
mean.
would have driven around because I would have been like, you better be filming this, Roland, because
Well, but this was 2007, I
oh
think.
my
Yeah,
god.
we didn't have all the smart technology we got now. Maybe it was 2006.
But you know, one of those type of people are born every day.
Yeah, I know. But she spoke slow. She was like, and I don't think she was dumb or anything. I just don't think her brain did the programming of her mouth, but it was caught up because it was programming very quickly. It took its time.
Finally,
What's wrong?
I'm shedding.
Are you?
Yes,
No. Okay.
I had one of my hairs from my head.
So what towns have you lived in?
We talked about moving yesterday, right? And you were like, I hate
Oh
moving.
yeah, yeah, that's right. We
Okay,
did.
so you want to hear all the times I moved, ready? So you want to hear all the time towns.
I just want to know towns. I don't care
Okay,
about time frames.
lived in Campbellsville.
Mm-hmm.
5 houses, moved to 5 different houses in Campbellsville, Kentucky. Okay,
Okay. Okay, I care about a time frame now. I mean, within what time frame are we talking
from the age of 8 to 14.
about? Okay, moving on. Oh, but okay, let them know. What did your mom do at the
Um,
time? Now
mm,
she's done a lot, right?
yes, when I was little, up until we moved, but she still did it my whole life. Um, she worked at Prudential, a real estate broker. But then once we got down to Campbellsville, Kentucky, she used her cosmetology license
Okay, okay,
and had a
stop,
beauty
stop.
salon.
Okay, stop. But she was also doing something else.
She was in the military
Yeah,
as
what
a
was she in?
JAG officer,
Okay. Was
and
she an officer?
she was a she was a JAG officer and a drill sergeant.
Okay. Okay, and then your father was.
A drill sergeant, and he flew Black Hawks and Hueys in the
Okay, but he
military.
did it as enlisted, right? He didn't have bars on his shoulder, did he? You're bad with rank. I think you're confusing some stuff. I think he was a chief warrant officer by the time everything got done.
No, work as a chief warrant officer.
Yes, he is. I think he's a CWO4. Your brother is.
Work.
I was impressed by that because I didn't. I
Well,
was
he's been in there as long as I've
been alive, but he's also like 20 years older or 16 years older than you, right?
18-ish.
18ish. Yeah. So, but um, I I was a Lance criminal. I got busted down for smarting off
Lance criminal.
corporal. We call him Lance criminal because you can't trust him. I was a Lance corporal, and here's the weird thing. I was a Lance corporal. I got on deployment, coming back, everybody's stressed. I get busted down as we're going through the Suez, or right before we go through the Suez. And going through the Suez on a LHD is nobody can use. They can't replace because you're so close to land. They can't replace the water, take in water, and they can't dump uh, sewage. So I think it took 18 hours to go through the Suez Canal both times, and there's a holding lake, I guess, in the middle. But the ship was big enough that it literally hung over on both sides of the land. That's how narrow it was. And of course, we see the Egyptian army just running up and down in their vehicles as ships are going.
Making sure nobody's
Yeah,
paying off
making
the
sure.
side.
Yeah. So, um, yeah, but we go through the Suez, and my sergeant asked me, and I was the last criminal in charge of my shop. I reported to the sergeant, and then there was a master sergeant, and then there was the captain, and that was our chain of command. So I was in charge of my Marines on my side, and I was even the highest time and grade for Lance Corporal, but they put me in charge of it. They trusted me. And the crazy thing is my sergeant asked me how I really thought about something, and I said, "Are you sure you want me to do that?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Am I going to get in trouble?" I should have known at that point.
Oh, good
Gonna... but he goes, "No, you won't get in trouble." So I told him how I felt about him. Apparently, the master sergeant didn't agree with my assessment, and he charged me with an NJP. I got put up on an NJP, and I went to go see the colonel. I got busted down to private, but I didn't get any pay reduction. I just got busted down from Lance Corporal down to PFC. So I get back from deployment. I'm 2.5 years. No, I'm almost 3 years into my 4-year contract, and I get back to Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point, and I come in as a PFC, and we have a new warrant officer that wasn't there before I got deployed, and so on and so forth. And I get put in with the PFCs, and of course, I have a Lance Criminal in charge of me. And the crazy thing is, even though which I guess it's not that crazy considering, but even though I was a PFC, within 2 months, I was already put in charge of even Lance criminals because of my experience and how I handled things. Um, so within the shop, even though I couldn't tell them what to do outside the shop, within the shop, I was signing off and approving all their stuff in a position that should have been for a corporal. So by the time I picked my rank back up, uh, I I was already in the position, even though I had time and grade less than everybody else in the shop for my rank. They trusted me to get it done. So, but yeah,
Those were the good old days.
were they the good old days?
Yeah, going to the bases with my parents and staying in the barracks with my mom, hearing her tell her subordinates,
Soldiers.
her soldiers, her
Yes,
subordinates,
subordinates.
what to do, yelling at them.
You were Army brat twice. Your dad was a soldier, and your
Yes.
mom was a soldier.
Um, but I would just, yeah. But that was back in the 90s, early 90s. So it was different back then for Army brats. And I can remember each different base. And you know how I distinguished each different base?
Mm.
The pool. My favorite base is where I learned the biscuits in the army, they say are mighty fine. One rolled off the table and killed a pal of mine.
Did your brother ever make you march cadence?
Yes.
Is that the one of the ones?
Yes.
I like the one that goes, Mama and Papa were lying in bed, Mama rolled over, and this is what she said, give me some, give me some, PT, PT, good for you, good for you, good for me, hoorah, hoorah. Yeah, that was my favorite.
Left, your left,
Yeah.
your military left, your left, your right. Now pick up, step your left, your right, your left.
Yeah.
Um, but it had a god awful, ugly. I thought it was filthy. When I first saw the pool, I thought the water was disgusting because it was this ugly green, not like dark green, but it was just like, but it was painted. I thought it was the color of the
Mhm.
water, but no, and it was warm. It was heated. Oh, it was so fun. And the thing is my brother and I, we just swam as whenever we wanted. My mom would go off with her people, and Chris and I would leave the barracks with our bathing suits and towels. And my mom's soldiers would just, they'd look jealous. Hmm. uh, but it was fun.
Was it?
But that was
See, you didn't get to experience the cool things such as boot camp.
no, I never experienced boot camp. However, I did go and Chris see his graduation of boot camp. That was an experience in and of itself. So he Camp Atterbury. Atterbury.
Is that the one? Are you talking about the one down in southern Indiana?
Atterbury is where Chris.
I know, but are you talking about the? It was in southern Indiana.
Atterbury.
There's Crane Naval Base, and there's Camp Atterbury down in southern Indiana.
Okay. Atterbury.
Atterbury. Get him. Attaboy. I mean, Atterbury.
Okay, hold on. All I know is that we drove from Campbellsville.
North,
Huh?
north or south?
North.
That'd be Camp Atterbury.
And we get there and we get onto the base and there's a hotel on the base.
Yeah.
Very nice hotel.
There's yeah, most
And
places have
we're staying at the hotel and at first I paid for the ticket for the hotel.
that. Mm-hmm.
I mean paid for the hotel because my mom was, I love her, she's cheap. I paid for the hotel. Anyways, my dad was staying there too with my grandpa. Okay? No flipping joke. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I was pushing my grandpa around everywhere there.
How old were you?
Huh?
How old were you?
19.
No. Okay.
So I was pushing him around everywhere, up the hills, everything like that. And we got to see Chris do the what do you call it? Where they climb the rope up one side and go down the wall.
Obstacle course.
Yeah, the obstacle course thing.
Ah, there you go. I'm glad I'm here to fill in the blanks because these people would be lost without me.
Wow. And then we got to see them all do their little marching thing. And my dad was like, gotta let him do his thing and everything like that. And I was like, I gotta do something. I gotta do something. So, like, everybody just stopped, and Chris was like, his group was right in front of us, and he was standing there. And I was just standing there, just going like this, go, yeah. And he was just shaking his head, just trying not to look at me.
You can't.
Shh,
You
hold
don't
on.
understand.
Hold
you
on.
can't.
Hold on. I know
You
you
get
can.
yelled at.
I know you do.
You've been yelled at
I
for
know.
moving wrong
But
for the
guess
last
what? Guess what? I
Right.
am a civilian. So you know what this civilian did?
Waved her hands and screamed
No,
and
this
yelled.
one went, Go Chris! Go Chris!
You're dumb. He probably was like, I hope I don't get in
I go,
trouble.
Go Chris, nice, go! Woo! I'm just jumping up and down. I'm the only one screaming. Okay?
Mhm.
You know it. Even the people with the round hats
Mhm.
that are in charge of each person in their block square.
The drill instructors.
Yeah, that person. That person in front of Curses, he was smiling because he knew that Chris couldn't do anything.
Oh, listen. I had a black sergeant, Sergeant Brown. He was the third. Uh,
You know, it would have been funny if he was Sergeant. Like,
huh? Sergeant White. No. So I had four drill instructors in my boot camp experience platoon that I was in, and we had senior drill instructor, and then we had three others. And the crazy was each one of them, which I didn't realize this until we got to the crucible time period. Each one had a part to play. The one below the senior was the disciplinarian. And then there was Sergeant Brown, and he was a short black guy, but he he'd walk up behind you and he'd see you smile because you're supposed to keep your composure, and he'd go, "Hey Wilson, is this Def Comedy Jam?" He'd like whisper in your ear, but he'd come out of nowhere because he was smaller. He's probably 5'5", five
he
six.
came out of the
He
dark.
came out of nowhere. He's like, yeah, he came out of nowhere. He's like, "Hey Wilson." I'm like, "Oh shit."
He's in my blind spot.
Yeah, but a few times he'd break his composure. He goes, "That's hilarious, isn't it?" I know he wouldn't laugh, just smirk a little bit. And I was hesitant because if I did smirk, he could rat me out. But a few times he's like, "Just smirk, I won't tell." So I smirk. He goes, "Don't you feel better? Now get back in line." But he was hilarious, and he was my. Then we had Sergeant Roblowski. He was the one. He was, I guess he was the agitator. See, he'd go around just screw with people at night when they were standing their posts. He'd go, "State your general orders," and hey, you mess up even slightly, or you hesitate just too long while doing your general orders. He goes, "Start over, start over." He occasionally just said, but he did punch me one time, and when he punched me,
Why did he punch you?
but I said something smart, and he just whop, he punched me in the face, and
Are they allowed
I
to?
no, they aren't. And he, as soon as he hit me, he realized. I said, because you're supposed to say this recruit, that recruit. You can't say I, you can't say you. You say this recruit needs to go to the head. That recruit is doing that. Recruit so and so, blah blah blah. And if you say you, they go, "We're not a sheep. You're not a you," because apparently a you is a sheep or something. But it's right before we go up north in Pendleton to go to the rifle range and do the crucible, and so we're pretty far into the training, and it's late night, and he calls me out, and I get out of bed, and he goes, "You're gonna clean the head." So I made a smart remark, and he insulted me, but I said it in a way that was respectful. He insulted me, and I said something like I guess I attacked his manhood because at that time he was just screwing around with me, and apparently he didn't like the comment I made. He punched me, and when he punched me, this recruit and that recruit went away, and I said, "You touch me again," and I said MFR. I said, "I will take your head off." He goes, "Listen, Wilson, I shouldn't have hit you. If you want to press charges, blah blah blah." I said, "I want to press charges. But I'm telling you now, you do it again, I will knock your head off. There will be no charges." But he was also a smaller guy. He goes, "Okay, so we're good then?" I said, "We're good." He goes, "You need to get back in character." No, he didn't say character. He said something else. Basically, you need to say this recruit, that recruit, what you were taught. And they do that also because they're trying to strip your sense of identity. But for the rest of the boot camp, he still screwed with me because I knew that was what he was supposed to do. And by the way, boot camp is not hard physically. It really isn't. Everybody thinks it's hard, and I thought it was going to be hard. And yeah, the first 2 or 3 or 4 weeks, your body is adjusting to a change in what you're doing, and it hurts a lot. But then your mind takes over once they break you, and you do things that like for example, when I first went to boot camp, every night they make you drink a canteen of water because they want to make sure, and you have to hold the lid underneath like this and turn it upside down so anything left, so they can make sure. And there's 82 of us in the platoon, so you do this. But when I first went, I couldn't drink water like that, so they make me go refill it and do it again, and they count down. You should be. They go. You will be done in 2, 3, 4. You will be done in 6, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and you should be, and you're supposed to say yes. Wow, I have problems counting backwards there. Anyway, you should be, and you're supposed to yell, "Done, sir." Well, anyways, before you know how I can open my throat and
Okay, you will take one of those life water bottles, the tall ones, not the short ones, the tall ones, and I'll be like, "Here, babe, here's your bottle of water," and he'll be like, "Go, go, 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 go," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
well, I learned that trick because in the Marine Corps, they keep making you refill it until you could get done in the time.
Yeah, if I try, like, it's like you're pushing your tongue down and just letting the water slide
That's
down the
exactly
throat.
what it is.
I can't do that. Like, I have a little hangy downy in the back of my throat that goes, "Wait, bitch, I feel
Well,
everything."
I used to gag when like the first 2 weeks of boot camp. But after that, I said I'm not gonna play this game anymore. And I told my body, I said, "You're gonna drink this water. You're gonna keep it down." And every night after that, I had no problem drinking it. But my favorite thing about boot camp though was back to Sergeant Brown because he was also a teacher filling in when the second was gone, and um, he would screw around with a guy named Robleski, and so did the number two. Number two did it too. The second in charge under senior drill instructor. But I think Sergeant Brown started doing it to Robleski after what happened outside the schoolhouse in San Diego as we were waiting to go in. So we were waiting to go in to the schoolhouse to do our knowledge, as they say, and he I don't even know the sergeant's name, but anyways, he comes around and he's a big guy. He's like 6'3" and he's solid muscle, so he's not short like Robleski and Sergeant Brown were.
Hmm.
But he's teaching us drill on how to do things. So he's explaining it, and we're in a semicircle. So I'm on this side of the semicircle. No, it wasn't Robleski. Is Alvarez. Robleski had the other thing. Anyways, Alvarez, recruit Alvarez was over here, and that's who Sergeant Brown screwed with. But anyways, Alvarez is over here, I'm over here, so we can see each other. And I keep seeing Alvarez look past the drill instructor to the grass behind him, and then he watched the drill instructor. And I actually saw the drill instructor catch his eye a few times, but he just kept explaining drill. He's like, "Move your feet like this," and blah blah blah, and snap and pop. And he's going through this, and we were probably out there total of 40 minutes. But he's going and he's explaining everything, and I'm surprised it took him this long. But I think that day he just wanted to get through the lesson. But Alvarez just would not stop doing shit, and he kept looking past like he wasn't paying attention. And then all of a sudden, I hear the drill instructor, "Alvarez, what's your problem?" And of course, he goes, "This recruit doesn't have a problem." And I'm like, and he's like, "Yes, you do. What are you doing? This recruit is listening to the drill instructor, sir." And he goes, "What were you looking at?" He goes, "This recruit was looking at," he goes, "Stop. What were you looking at behind me?" And of course, Alvarez doesn't want to answer the damn question because he knows he wasn't paying attention. And of course, I'm over here, I'm laughing inside because I can't show that because you lose your composure and you go get smoked, which means they take you to the drill deck and they make you do a whole, they're like, "Crunches now, push ups now." They just run through it until you're sweating so bad.
Did
So
you
I,
learn that from experience?
what? So I don't want to get caught, but it's hilarious to tell because I know what he was looking at because I follow his eyes. What he was looking at, there was a bird that landed behind, and he was watching the bird, and then a rabbit had come by after that and had run. And I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God, he's going to get in trouble." So the drill instructor finally, after he's like, "I was watching," he goes, "If you lie to me again, I
what were you looking at? He goes, a rabbit. This recruit was looking at a rabbit, sir. And of course, the rabbit's gone by now. The drill instructor turns around. He looks back and goes, I don't see no stupid rabbit, Alvarez. Are you imagining animals? He goes, no, this recruit is not imagining animals. He goes, I don't. Do you see a rabbit anymore? And Alvarez goes, this recruit does not see a rabbit anymore. And then he turns to the other 81 of us. He goes, does any recruit here see a rabbit? And of course we, no, sir. And he goes, Alvarez, are you imagining shit? And then he goes, this is a recruit. He goes, Alvarez, we're going to play a game. And I said, it's on. I said, game on.
God.
And of course, I have to keep my composure. But everything, these are little things you find because boot camp is so chaotic until things start settling in. And you're sitting there going, you're finding the little joys that you didn't realize you were looking for because you were thrown in this gaggle crack of people and you don't know any of them, but they're building you into a team, and you can't see your family or talk to your family or anything like this, and you get 5-second phone calls to let them know at the beginning of boot camp you're okay. So everything's confusing. So he says, Alvarez, go out into the field where the rabbit was. Show me where the rabbit was. So Alvarez goes out there, and he goes, this recruit saw the rabbit right here, sir. He goes, I want you to search for that rabbit. So Alvarez starts looking. He goes, no, I want you to hop like a rabbit. Attract the rabbit. He goes, if you hop like a rabbit, that rabbit will come out. And then next thing I know, he's like, Alvarez, there's a bird over there. Hop and get the bird. And he's just bouncing around. And of course, the other 81 of us is like, we're like, we want to crack every single. In fact, I know that's the fact because on that Sunday, I think that was a Friday that happened. By the time we had Sunday church, because it was relaxed, it was a relaxation time if you chose not to go to church on Sunday or religious services. You were allowed to wash your clothes at the washboards or the washing things behind the barracks, and you were allowed to shine everything, get everything ready. So it was relaxing. Everybody's allowed to take their time and do whatever. And that was the talk of the entire barracks is they were making fun about. It was hilarious.
But was he making fun of himself?
He took it in stride because he knew he screwed up. But the other one, speaking of which, is with Sergeant Brown. After that happened, of course the drill instructors talked. Sergeant Brown thought it was funny. At least that's my theory because he decided to screw with Alvarez again. So we're in the barracks, and if you know anything about the bunks in the barracks, there are two things that come down like this underneath the top bunk, and you're supposed to hang your towel there to dry, so everything's organized. One for the top, one for the bottom, and then along the edges, there's these little ledges that hold the mattress in. So Alvarez is once again not paying attention, and Sergeant Brown knows. He's explaining how we're supposed to iron our camis and all that crap. And he's going through, and Alvarez isn't paying attention. And Sergeant Brown goes, Alvarez, are you paying attention? And of course, Alvarez does the same thing. He argues. And Sergeant Brown goes, I heard about what happened outside. He says, like, instead of yelling, he's like, I heard about what happened outside. and even though because Sergeant Brown was a little bit more laid back, he knew everybody would crack his mouth. We slightly, and of course he's like, "Are you recruits losing your composure?" No, sir. He goes, Alvarez, pay attention. And of course, Alvarez can't pay attention. Not even probably a minute later, Alvarez he's being yelled at again by Sergeant Brown. And so what Sergeant Brown did, he took to show us how to iron. He took 2 foot lockers, stacked them on top of each other, and he stood with a bunk behind him. Okay, because we're at the front of the squad bay. And he has the bunk behind him. He goes, Alvarez, you know what? You're a ninja. And he goes, you're going to disappear. What I want you to do, he goes, I want you to get up underneath this bunk. So he gets up underneath the bunk. He goes, I want you to put your hands up here on this one, and I want you to put your big toe right there and hold yourself up. And I'm going to continue teaching. And when I say, ninja disappear, you're going to pull yourself up like this. And you're going to hold it until I say, ninja reappear. And the rest of the teaching of how to iron your clothes is probably another 20 minutes of him explaining. probably 3 or 4, 5, 6 times. Oh, news you disappear. And of course, we can't crack up. We got to be serious about everything.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great though. There's some other boot camp stories, but here I'll tell you this.
What
Look,
about you? I want to hear.
oh, I stayed out of it.
No, I know that you got in trouble.
Oh, I did get in
Oh
trouble.
no, not in trouble. I know
A
about.
fight?
Huh?
Are you talking about the fight?
No. Ooh, you got in a fight?
Oh yeah, but you have to understand what happened. But what are you
No,
talking
like
about?
I want to know that a drill sergeant, said, "Wilson, what are you doing?" That was really funny, and y'all.
Well, that I stay out of trouble. Now, of course, the journal structure intentionally. I think they take the list and they mark people off as they screw with each one of them. But um, I got screwed with it. But I didn't stand out. That's the key thing. I didn't stand out. Okay, I made sure I didn't stand out. But of course, you got smoked. My favorite exercise when you got smoked was change the channel. And what they did was they put you you were laying on your belly, and what you did, you put your elbows down and you went up on your tiptoes, so you're bored. And what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to watch TV, and when they yell change the channel, you're supposed to take your hand and reach out and touch the TV to change it, and it causes so much stress on your body.
Oh
Yeah, yeah.
no.
Yes, that's what they did because you were holding yourself like a plank with your elbows in the concrete floor. By the way, the squad bay is made of concrete floors. All 3 floors are. And they say change the channel, and you're like, because when you're like this, you're at least your head is supported and your hands have something to push up. But when you change the channel, you have to reach out like this, and all your weight, you're like sitting there shaking. Ah. So yeah, uh, but they did find new ways to torture you. It was. But I will tell you this: while I was going through it, I didn't like it. Looking back, it was probably the funniest time of my life because I didn't have all the outside distractions of the rest of the world. So you had to find humor in things that were close. Um, my favorite though. Oh, you want to hear about the fight?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're up north. We had just started the Crucible. If you know anything about the Crucible, you you get very little sleep, and if you have duty and you sleep in hooches, you literally have to dig a hole, and you're in there with another grown ass man, and you're basically sleeping on top of each other in these hooches. But it's basically a canvas thing that has a pole in the middle, or maybe 2 poles at either end. I can't remember. And you have to dig down in the dirt to create
Wait.
a hole.
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah, what's up?
Maybe I should whisper, but
No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay, yeah.
is
It was the era of Don't Ask, Don't Tell at
what?
that time. The Clinton era, Don't Ask, Don't Tell. You can join the military, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
But there were some guys you're like, you don't have to ask. You can tell.
but I would not want to get in the hole.
Nah, no. Even though guys like that, they were cool. Even though because I knew at least 2 of them were gay in my unit, and they were very respectful. So
Oh, they
I
were?
yeah,
Okay.
they weren't trying to hit on you or anything. I felt a little uncomfortable in the shower, but I figured, whatever. But anyways, I we were on the Crucible is 2 nights, 3 days, I think. We had just finished up the ammo move. They have these ammo cans in the middle of the night. They wake you up, and by the way, you only get 4 hours of sleep every night. No, 3 hours sleep, something like that. 3 or 4 hours each night during the 2 days. Okay, and if you have duty, you're up for 2 hours, so you only get 2 hours, and the 2 hours taken away from your normal. So if you get called, and everybody gets called at least one night for duty. So if you don't get one, and if you screw up, then you get it both nights. But I was tired. It was the second day, and we had walked basically. I don't know how many miles we did with those passing off, and they purposely give you just enough cans where you have to work together, but not enough where um, they give you just enough cans where you have to work together. And like for example, if there was 80 in the platoon, they would give you 50
ammo cans, and the reason why they get 50 because they knew 10 people would have to double up and they'd have to exchange differently. Not everybody got a break, so they did it like that on purpose. Okay, so we're doing our hiking. Of course, we got full gear on doing this. 80-pound pack, and on top of I don't know 80-pound, 50-pound, whatever they were, ammo cans, and they were the big ones, the small ones, and all sorts of size. But you had to work together as a team to get your ammo can across the miles that they wanted you to march at night. So we had done that the night prior, and we were all exhausted. The guy who I got in a fight with was on duty, so he had even more less sleep than I did. And he made a smart comment. I made a smart comment back. He made a smart comment. I made another smart comment. Apparently, his mother was offended, and
His
he
mother
turns
was offended.
he turns around and he punches me in the face. Now I'm tired. I am strictly muscle. We're far enough in boot camp where we are all muscle at that point. Every one of us. We had lost the weight, and I had a 10 pack. I didn't even have a 12 pack. I didn't even have a 6 pack, an 8 pack. I
You were
was
just packed.
chiseled jaw, everything, and my haircut provided by the Marine Corps was awesome. The high and tight. So actually, no, we were still being shaved at the time. We hadn't earned our haircuts. We don't earn our haircuts until you get through the crucible. That's right. We just get shaved. It wasn't high and tight. Um, and after the crucible, we actually get to wear the eagle lobe and anchor on our sweatshirts. Before then, we had to flip them inside out because we weren't worthy to wear the eagle lobe and anchor, which is the Marine Corps emblem. So we're in there. We have our M16 strung over back. We have our packs on, and he turns around. His mother was offended, and he punches me in the face. I mean, he punched me in the jaw, like right here, and he hit me hard. But I was so tired and pissed off at the moment. Trust me, it hurt. I felt every bit of it. But my anger flared so bad at the time. I had my wipe in here. I grabbed it like this, the butt of the M16. I pulled it up. Now I wouldn't have shot him or anything, even if I had ammo. But I was just angry at that moment. So I whipped it up like this, flipped the gun around, and I butt struck him right in the back. And I probably shouldn't have done it. So the other Marines, the other recruits start calling drill instructor, do we have a problem, gentlemen? And we both say no. Of course, both of us are hurting like hell. I know he is because I'm watching him move. But after the other Marines witnessed that, people really didn't mess with me a lot because I was going to sit there and take bullshit. So, but yeah, that's the only time I really got in trouble. The coolest thing about boot camp though is when we got to the top of the hill on the last day before we had the victory breakfast after the crucible. Our captain for our platoon, or maybe our company, was an F-18 pilot, and he had his buddies who had to do flight ops anyways. When we got to the top, he scheduled it, and there was 2 or 3, I can't remember, F-18s circling us at the top of this huge hill. They weren't close to us. They were pretty far, but they were down lower than what they usually. And they just circled. They circled a few times like that, and then they just cut off in different directions. And that was our captain's way of saying, "Good job, guys." It was the coolest thing in the world.
No, that was.
That was, wasn't
That
it?
was time good.
Yeah, he was an F-18 pilot himself. So,
That would have been cool.
oh yeah, it was awesome. But anyways, I got other boot camp stories. What do you wanna? What else you wanna talk about?
I don't have any boot camp or band stories.
Okay, band camp stories.
I don't have those either.
Oh my gosh.
Again, OCD. Well, I did go to camp once.
Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you want to tell the camp story? Or can I
No,
ask you?
because my camp stories involve OCD, spiders,
Good.
snakes.
We're gonna stay on the OCD. What is the deal with your OCD? If you want to talk about it, I don't want to talk about it. And we keep joking about how you keep my house clean. Go into that a little bit because I feel like you're the perfect match for me because I'm not messy. I mean, I keep but I'm lazy, so I let things get a little messy before I decide to clean out. But if you want to, could you go into the OCD thing?
So, as I said before, I was raised by two military parents.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do they teach you in the military? To be,
Neat, tidy, clean.
uh huh. And so, my dad, um, he puts two fingers between each one of his fingers. Okay?
Wow.
My dad, when I lived with him, he wouldn't even, as a teenager, he wouldn't even let me do chores because I wouldn't, he didn't think
Now,
he didn't think I vacuumed right.
now I have a question for you.
Yes.
Because I think this is applicable to what you're talking about. Um, Nursing corners.
Huh?
Nursing corners.
Nursing corners? Oh, of the bed? Yeah. No, they're the same as in the military.
I know.
I know how to do them.
I know. Why do you know how to do
Because my mom, okay,
them?
no joke, okay? My mom would seriously come and
What are they
flip.
called? Nursing corners?
No,
What are they called?
I
Hospital corners. That's what they're called. Yeah, that's right.
I just know that that's the proper way. You know the reason why we don't
How'd
have.
they test it?
Huh?
How'd they test
Flip a
it?
coin.
No, how'd they do it? Explain it. They didn't flip a coin.
No,
They...
yeah, if it bounced.
Yeah, if it bounced.
Okay, shut up. And I'm like, you can't really test that, okay?
Yeah,
On
they
a
can,
mattress.
can't they? They can, can't they?
Anyways, so
Oh, oh my gosh.
th- we we have been married for years.
Who has?
You and I.
I know, 3.5.
We have never, and I want you to think, we've never, and I know it's the truth, we've never had a sheet underneath our bedspread.
Yeah, because you get annoyed by it and it gets stuck at the bottom of the.
Uh huh. But you know why I get annoyed with it?
Why?
Because I hate having to tuck it in. Do you know why I hate having to tuck it in?
Mm-hmm.
Because I had to, as a child, I was forced to. My mom would flip up the ends of our bed, and if they were not properly folded correctly, she
90
would
degrees?
pull it.
I mean,
We were 9.
right triangles.
We were 9. We were 10. We were. This was Kentucky. I moved
That
from
does not
Kentucky.
help your situation.
Okay, I moved from Kentucky at 14. Okay, so all of this was under the age of 14. This is how, like, so I did not, I have a phobia of sheets, top sheets. I will not, I do not use them. I actually give them away to our family members. I give our top sheets away. We don't own a top sheet. Well, hold on, actually, yeah, we do. We own that one right there.
You give it as a memento?
No, well, that's Elijah's. It goes to his bed. He doesn't even use one.
I know. He'll never will sleep on the floor, even if he has.
Yeah. But but anyways, so my dad would not let me clean, but I would still clean. But my dad had OCD, and you knew it. Everyone knew it.
So that's where you got it from?
But also my mom is clean and neat. And being raised by my mom with her drill sergeant ways, and so every day growing up, Sunday to Sunday. Actually, no. Sundays we would not have to clean. We didn't have to clean. Saturdays we're dusting and vacuuming, and so it was always split into somebody would do the whole basement, okay, and then have to do the kitchen, okay, whole basement, kitchen, which include the laundry room, okay, and you started from the top, worked your way to the bottom, okay, And in the kitchen, you would dust from the top of the cabinets all the way to the floor. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And my mom would walk around with her. She'd check periodic places. And do you know she would put little pieces of paper, little pieces
Hey,
of
Brittany.
trash everywhere?
Brittany.
Yes.
What do you do to our
I do that too.
children? Elijah, when he'll be like, okay, I cleaned it. You're like, no,
No,
you
you
didn't. You're like, how do you know that? Every time he doesn't realize that.
No, for the most
Did
part.
you finally tell him?
No, hold on. I only do that whenever I feel like that they don't do what I'm asking them to do. Whenever I get suspicious that they don't do it. For the most part, I see the things that need to be vacuumed up, and I'm like, you vacuumed? That's still there. That hasn't been moved. All that is still around that. You have not. And you want to tell me you vacuumed and mopped? No, you haven't. And so then from then on, I would be like, okay, you're going to do it now. And then they'll say, oh, I did it. And I'm like, no, you didn't because I planted something. No, you didn't. Go do it. Please stop lying to me. But that's how it was. So Saturdays, every Saturday. I'm not talking about one Saturday a month, Roland. Every Saturday it was cleaning at my mom's, okay? And if we got it all done, we could go play. We had the rest of the day, okay? So we would team up and we would start on one end of the house and just go, Chris and I. If we were mad at each other, we started wherever we were. You know, him, his section, me, my section, okay? And usually I got my bedroom, my bathroom, my mom's bedroom, my mom's bathroom, the hallway, the living room, her office, and the dining room, and then the front foyer. That was my whole area to dust and clean. And I had 4 fans to clean. I had to dust the fans too every Saturday. Okay? Then 2 times a week you clean the toilet. 2 times a week you clean the shower. But every Saturday you still clean the shower. And every Saturday you still clean the toilet. That was my mom's house. And 2 times a week you still vacuum too.
Okay, let's go back to the OCD thing.
That's how I get my.
I know. So we got through that. We'll go through the OCD thing. So, when I say my house is spotless,
Okay, I don't think our house is spotless
right now it's not. It's not. We just moved in here. We still haven't unpacked some things.
I'm heavily medicated.
With your OCD meds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't joking when I said we need to tweak them because the house is getting a little dirty. If we we need it just enough where you're not. You ever see Pleasantville? Jeff Daniels in Pleasantville? Yeah, he's just wiping, and Toby Maguire looks at him, and he's like, he's basically like looking at him.
Because he
like,
did come in.
Yeah. That's you without medication. You just keep going, and things get wiped down 10 million times. You with medication, too much medication, you walk through the house and everything's trash, and you're like, it can burn. And then you with the right medication, my house stays clean, I'm happy, you're happy.
You could actually pile up some clothes over there.
I can. It's just right where I can make a little bit of a mess and you're cool about it.
But it's so funny. My side of the room is dusted.
It's spotless.
Organized.
Everything has its place.
No trash. Everything is in its place. His side. You can actually imagine women, ladies. You can imagine some guys. You guys can imagine. There are some women out there who are just slobs. But I didn't marry his slob. I married.
I'm not that sloppy. I can be sloppy. My car is where you have the most problems.
Can I acceptance is the first step.
Is that the first step in the treatment program?
Yes. And I thought that you had accepted that on our first date when you were throwing trash from your front seat.
My first date with you was weird. I'm not going into that right
That's why I say some things were meant to be.
now.
And that is
Why do you say
why,
that?
huh?
Why do you say that?
Well, one, the how I know of you,
Mm-hmm.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, before I met you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then I meet you, and that's why when I let you go and you came back, I was like, okay, I did. Because I knew something that spontaneous and unreal couldn't have happened for just any old reason.
What do you mean spontaneous?
Like
I'm not. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
meeting you.
Oh, meeting me.
Yeah,
But you. That's the crazy part, though. Is I don't even remember you.
I know. It's okay.
But you knew me, right?
Definitely.
Why did you know me?
Because of your ex wife.
Why did you know me though?
Mm.
Because my ex-wife.
Because she was in charge of the medical department at Harrison College.
And what program were you doing?
The medical.
Mm.
She was also an instructor of one of my classes.
Yeah.
She didn't like me.
She's in it.
She thought I was a class clown, and I was.
So let's go in when you first met me. Okay, and give a time frame.
Okay,
And I don't remember any of this, so.
I'm in his ex wife's office. So,
Hold on one second. Please go. There it goes. We can even see the red light in the
okay,
camera.
so I'm in his ex wife's office, and you walk into the room, and immediately when you walk into the room, there is a wall to the left. Okay?
Mhm.
And up against that wall was a
Desk.
desk.
Yeah. I
And I
remember
was
that.
sitting at the desk.
I don't
And
remember
behind that desk was her desk facing out towards the door as you walked in.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just sitting there grading papers, trying to get some extra credit because, I needed some. Anyways, and walks
Do you remember the two kids I walked in with?
a boy and a girl.
It had to have been Isaiah and Ariana. Was one of them black?
I don't remember. I just know that the little girl
My
had
son,
so much energy.
my son Isaiah is half black and half white, and then my daughter Ariana. So they were young at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Izzy was actually in her car seats in the cafeteria down the hall
Mm.
when you came in. Anyways, so these two kids just all of a sudden run into the office, and I was just like, oh. And then this man walks in, and I'm just grading papers, and I look over, and there's ass. Just
Now to give perspective of it,
He was in dress
what year was
pants
this?
and a polo shirt.
What year was this?
2011.
Okay, so the year prior, because I had finished my college degree, I had wanted to get back in the Marine Corps, and I did a better physical fitness test when I was training for this than I ever did in the Marine Corps when I was enlisted, and I had passed all the tests to become a naval aviator because I was at the air station. And I eventually didn't get to go because I had sleep apnea. They told me I couldn't get back in when I went to MEPS to get checked out. But I had passed all the tests at this point, and I had an awesome PFT, perfect PFT by far. So I was in good shape. But after in 2010 when they told me I couldn't, I still exercised, but I didn't put forth as much effort as I did. So I was looking good, maybe not in the face, but at least
Oh,
the body.
his ass was looking nice. He had, again, dress pants on and a polo.
Mhm.
Not to mention, you know how females get when a man has kids and woo. So for weeks after that, his ass was all I could talk about to my girls.
You're dumb. Anyways, I don't even remember you at that time. I know the desk because I remember her office. I'd been there enough, but I don't remember any of that. But the crazy part is even that is I've adopted your 14-year-old. We've talked about her a few times. It's Bella, and the crazy part is I actually held her as a baby. I didn't even know I did that. Um, how'd that happen?
So after I got my graduated from Harrison College, everything like that, um, your ex-wife now, not then, messages me on Facebook and invites me to go to Glad Tidings.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, sure, why not? I'll go. Walk in the church. Oh, that's a cute boat.
Mm-hmm.
That was a cute boat. Izzy loved the boat. Did your kids love the boat?
Yeah, the child care, the arc.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they played on that.
Izzy loved the boat. Then we go down the stairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Down the hall.
Mm-hmm.
Drop Izzy off to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Go
Just
across,
across the
across the hall to our
class.
Sunday school class. There's Erica, and who's sitting right next to her?
I don't even remember.
Okay.
This. I remember Erica bringing people to Sunday school class that I met and said, "Oh yeah, yeah." I didn't really pay attention because I'm married to Erica.
Okay.
I'm focused on her.
I
not
would
on
never
other
sit
women.
near them. Okay, so at first, some of the times it was set up in like a rectangle kind of setup with this open space in the middle. Then there were rows. But when you first walked into the Sunday school class, to the right along the wall
Is where
was
all
a
the
table
food
with coffee and food.
that everybody
Uh
brought
huh.
in.
That everybody brought in.
Yeah.
And
We had a
when
potluck there.
when when the thing was like set up in rows, that was when he had the TV and we were doing this, and he had the
Video
podium.
series.
Yeah, we were doing a video series.
Yeah.
But anyways, I made a biscuit and gravy and egg and sausage casserole, breakfast casserole, and he loved it. Loved it. He'd go get seconds. Anyways, but yeah, I had to.
Oh, I
No,
do have, hold on.
I did stop going to that church because I was having sinful thoughts at Sunday school. But one Sunday school time, Izzy just would not. She just wasn't doing very good in her Sunday school class. But we only had what, about, I'd say 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes left of Sunday school class. And so they brought her in with me, into me, and I'm just, she's sitting over there with me. After it lets out, Izzy gets introduced to Erica and to him. And Izzy is like, he picks her up.
I remember holding a baby. I remember it was a little girl, and it fits what I remember. But I was
blonde hair,
uh,
bleach blonde,
but she was like what, a year, 18 months,
something like that.
Yeah. But here's the thing. So I get divorced from my ex-wife in 2020, And I'm in Alabama and I'm dating down there, but I decided to come back up here to Indiana and settle. And I started talking to girls on Meet Me, dating around and whatever. And the first time we met, I don't want to go into all the other details, but I really want to save that for another video. But the first night we meet, um, so I come and pick you up, and you can tell your specifics on the episode. So please don't go too far. Let me just get to this. I know you want to tell that story, but we I pick her up and we start driving, and we're talking back and forth, so on and so forth, and we get to where we're going, and we're sitting in the car in the parking lot of the restaurant that we are eating at, and we start talking, and she kept looking at me. I'm like, whatever, but she's a little creepy, and I don't mean that mean, but it was like, okay, something's weird going on. I could sense it, but I just didn't know what. But I didn't want to be rude either. And I kind of liked her at this point because we had a good conversation. And she just goes, I know who you are, but I don't know who you are, or something like that. You're like, you look familiar, I can't quite place you. So we start going through things, and I think I brought glad tidings. You're like, yeah, I went there a few times, but that wasn't the place where you placed me. And then, what happened?
You mentioned your ex-wife.
I think I brought up Harrison where she was.
No, you said my ex-wife. You might know my ex-wife, and I said, "What's her name?" And you said Erica, and I said, "Erica, what?" And you said Wilson, and I went Harrison College, and you went, "Yeah."
Yeah. That sounds better. So I'd been divorced from Erica almost a year at that point when we met, and yeah,
He didn't believe me
I didn't because
until
I'm
I
like,
found the
no,
videos.
no,
I
no.
found videos.
And my ex-wife confirmed it.
She had to kiss a pig.
She did have
Okay,
to.
I will tell you this much. He didn't believe that almost everybody in the that was in my graduating class at Harrison College for the medical did not like her because she was condescending. She was a lot of things. So we were raising money for the college for something. So we did Kiss the Pig, okay? And so each department head we was raising the money. So and all that money went towards that department to buy new equipment and things like that. So everybody else and everybody in the medical department put money towards the um what's the law one? Shoot.
Oh, you mean what's all criminal justice?
Yes, criminal justice.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
my gosh.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That much effort?
Shush. The
Woo-hoo.
criminal justice head person, and then there was the other one, the business.
Mm-hmm.
So we started just giving all of our money to them, and like
So what was the deal?
$50 here to that one, $50 to that one.
So how did she end up kissing a baby? What happened that
She lost by a landslide.
Watch your mouth.
Sorry. She lost by a landslide.
And that's because you guys donated to all the other.
Yeah.
And she had to kiss a pig, right?
She did on the snout.
Yeah.
And guess who got to see the video?
I did. We found the video late last year, maybe earlier this year. We were watching it, but my ex-wife had told me, yeah, I know Brittany, blah blah blah. I was like, are you sure? And she's like,
Yes.
but they knew each other.
His ex-wife even confirmed he held Izzy when she was a baby.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's just little things you don't do and don't remember. So.
I'm memorable now. I wasn't then.
We're gonna go ahead and cut off for the night. I'm feeling it kick my butt to sleep. have a long day tomorrow. So, anyways, I hope you liked our conversation. We're letting things flow. We do talk about some topics of possibilities to talk about before, but we don't make a decision saying, yeah, we're definitely going. We kind of have them as backups in case things don't flow right, so we have somewhere to go. So, but tonight, for the most part, everything came up more or less naturally, so I think we did pretty good. But anyways, if
But
you
these are seriously things we just lay here and talk about.
yeah,
Just random.
because we had done this for actual months. Uh, Actually, we've been doing it our entire marriage, but
Well, yeah, I was gonna
but
say.
these talks where we would sit here and just BS rather than turn on the TV, and we actually had to consciously say we're gonna turn off the TV. We still watch TV some, but we don't watch it like we used to. But about 6 months ago, we started, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit less. We decided to come in here and make time for each other, and we said we're gonna just sit in there and talk. And we can scroll through some videos, but it has to be engaging. It isn't just one person scrolling through videos. It's us together going through stuff, or we sit here and talk with nothing, or we turn on music. So this is what started this, and then as it progressed, because we had some awkward silences because it was new to us, but as it progressed, I actually learned a lot about my best friend and things about her. I knew a lot because I pay attention, but it created an opportunity for us to really dig deep into our relationship. And this is where we feel comfortable. And then things started getting crazy because we were making jokes, we were laughing, we were doing all sorts. And we, like I said last video, we were laughing so hard that I cried. It would hurt. And it's just, we had to create time to make it happen. We had to create time to be present. So we don't really have any rules. Like I said, we still do get on our phone, but we don't get on our phones. One of us gets on our phone and does it together, and we kind of do it if we're going to do the phone thing. If we're not going to do the phone thing, we just sit here and talk like we are now. And of course, the kids come in here and lay down with us and talk to us, and it's created an environment where we can actually engage with the kids because they know they're welcome, and we engage with each other. So uh, that's what started this, and I really wish we would have recorded the last month or two of us sitting in here doing this because it was funny, and this is where we got the idea to do it like this. I do have other videos posted um, to my YouTube channel. Um, some are funny, some are serious, some are just us talking about topics. But I say all that because um, you've really got to take the opportunity and consciously make a decision to engage with your partner. Because if you don't, then you become two separate, and that's two separate people that are roommates. And I think that's what happened a lot with my first two marriages. We became roommates, and we were just there. That's why, and it's not because my ex-wives didn't try. I know, I know, they did try, and I tried too. We couldn't figure it out, and the marriage broke down. But
You can't
so
have
so
two dominants in a
exactly.
relationship. And I'll say this: your ex-wife is,
Erica,
yes, she likes to dominate her relationship,
she does because I think she has.
and but it could stem from her past.
It does stem from her past
So,
because she's going through trauma and other stuff, and I'm not gonna get into that. That's her
nope.
story to tell.
Yep.
But because of the trauma, and she's a strong woman. She is a very strong woman, and she's done amazing things. I'm not gonna put her down about that.
Hey, your ex-wife is a great person.
She is a good
Okay,
person.
she is a great person. She just needs to stay out of this person's marriage, or she will get
Well,
this
here's the
person's
thing.
fist and foot.
If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have done as well as I did in
Well,
college.
how about this? I will say this. Thank you, Erica, for the attorney I have now. I will take really good care of him.
No, but honestly, I don't think I could have not. I couldn't have done it without her.
But we are very strong personalities together, and um, I don't think we complemented each other as well, but we tried to make it work for a long time. It just so. And here's the thing: she's wicked smart. She's probably smarter than me in some areas, and I'm freaking a genius. I don't know if I'm a genius, but I'm smart enough to accomplish what I have. So,
You are
but
smart enough to wear that.
what this?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 out of 3 people struggle with math. Did you know that? I'd be one of the 4 out of 3. But anyways,
I'm one of the
but
4.
but that was a phase of my life that I had the person I needed around me, and she helped me get through it.
Shoot.
And now I'm with somebody who
It's helping you build
is
it.
helping me build it, but not just build it, but also teaching me what a relationship really can do when two people are.
It's built off of what the Bible says a marriage is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But and another one, I
It's
will
built
talk
over
I'll
this.
talk about how I became so grounded in my beliefs on how to be the wife I am. We'll talk about that another time.
Okay. Well, anyways, we gotta go. And yes, by the way, we are Christians, but we cuss. At least I cuss. I have an
Oh,
excuse. She has no excuse. I was in the Marine Corps, so the F word was the second
excuse
language.
me. I'm an army brat.
Okay, but that doesn't really count. You didn't really do anything there. You just lived with crazy people. Anyways, but it is what it is.
I'm the crazy
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, if you like what we're doing, subscribe, like. We are posting. We want to post videos as much as we can, but there's going to be some times where we're going to sit in here and not film ourselves doing this. We're just going to sit in here and
one.
laugh. And I know when that happens, we're going to regret it because we're going to say something stupid that's going to crack us up, and we should have caught it on video. But we also have to be away from this to build our relationship also.
Mhm.
So we're trying to balance those two things, but check out our other videos. You might find some funny stuff, some serious stuff, some information that maybe you weren't expecting, but we would love to hear from people and let us know what we're doing.
Let us know what you guys talk about late
Yeah,
at night
yeah.
because we want new topics because you know there's only so many times you can reminisce the same thing, but it's good to reminisce those.
You
But
know, are you struggling with that word there? I think you did that last video too. It's okay. We'll make fun of you
there's only so many times you can
together.
remember
Reminisce. Don't go with the word you had. Go with it. Just go with it.
a certain memory,
Mm,
and then you're just like, I want to push it back. And it's like eating too much cake.
you can never eat too much cake.
Yes, you can.
No, you can.
You
If
need
you
to.
got diabetes, you can eat as much cake as you want. At least
Okay.
that's what I'm told. I don't know if that's the truth or not.
And so there's
I love cake. I'm a fat kid with cake. I love cake.
he does love cake.
I don't like chocolate as much, but I will tell you that Izzy is correct. Anyways, Izzy's correct. Red velvet cake is good, but cheesecake's the best. She's got it the other
No,
way. She says red
excuse me.
velvet cake's the best. And
Cheesecake Factory red velvet cheesecake there.
no,
That is her
that's
favorite.
too much. Well, that
That's
may
her
be
favorite.
Anyways,
It's cheesecake red velvet, cheesecake red
shut up,
velvet.
woman. Shut up, woman. You're disturbing people. So go ahead, like, subscribe. Wow, subscribe.
Really.
Like, subscribe,
And reminisce.
reminisce. I go watching our videos and talk about them. But we have a lot of fun doing this so far. So we hope to hear from you soon and have a good night. Now we're gonna stare awkwardly while off camera. I mess with the mouse to turn off the video. Goodbye.